If you could erase all memory of who you used to be, if you could delete the memory of others, how they have seen you, perceived you, then what person would you be? How would you speak? How would you act? How confident would you be? Tony Robbins, the motivational speaker, has this quote that remaining consistent with who we used to be is the biggest struggle that we humans face on a daily basis. And I myself have had my share of this. Because back in middle school and even in high school, I tried to be more social, I tried to be more open. I tried to act more like the popular kids. The problem was that I was seen and perceived as the opposite. Because for the longest time, I had been shy, timid, and socially awkward, and barely speaking. So when the others around me, my friends and classmates, when they saw my new behavior, they immediately shut me down because they found it strange. And what is strange, we don't really like. Because back when we used to live in tribes, well, the strange things could indicate an enemy tribe attacking, or a dangerous animal hunting us down. So we used to want to keep things the way they used to be, because when something's different, well, we don't really want to deal with it. We are more careful. So therefore, everyone around me thought I was too out of character. This is clearly not who you are. Please go back to your timid, shy, and not so confident self. Because you know how people act when you're trying to be more open, more social. Oh, where did he get there from? Someone's trying to be social. Oh, that's the most amount of words you've said in a long time, pal. Oh, somebody learned to speak. Oh, someone's finally saying their first words. You know what kids can be. They can be pretty tough on you. So as I was trying to change, I had so much resistance. Not only was it hard for me to change from the person that I didn't want to be this more open guy, because there's a lot of resistance there, right? But I also had to fight against everybody else and them not finding my newly found confidence or speaking ability that I'm using. Because the way people see us is the way we first appear to them. So in middle school and in high school, the first time I met my classmates, the first time I met my friends, I was shy, timid, socially awkward. Which means that no matter how much I may change, they're still gonna see me as that person to some extent. And that is why so many people choose to leave their home and move somewhere else, to a new city or new country even, because they want to start again. They want to start over. When I talk to people that have moved out and I ask them, okay, what's the best thing with having moved out to this new place? And they always look at me with a smile and say that I finally get to be the person I want to be. And I always thought, okay, this is a nice environment for you. You get to be more who you are because the city suits you. There's more people there like you. But that's not necessarily the case. What they mean, what they're saying behind those words is that I was viewed as this person back home. A person that I no longer identified with. Now that I got to move out, I got to create my life around this new person. And the new people that I met got to know this side of me. These sides. Who I wanted to be. And that's why I'm more comfortable. That's why I enjoy my life here a lot more. I myself actually got to move out a couple years back. So high school had ended and I was to start university. So I moved fairly far away. And I didn't think much of it because I wasn't thinking in these ways. But it meant that I could create something new for me. So when I met new people, I could be more confident. I could be more social. I could portray a better version of myself to these people. The only slight problem, depending on how you look at it, was one of my friends who also moved here, who also started university, same program as I did. Throughout the 2 first semesters, I really struggled with this when I met new people. When I was alone, I could portray this version of me that I wanted to be. When I was with my friend, I struggled. So when we met new people, I was more shy, socially awkward. They couldn't really speak that well because I in some way had to remain consistent with who my friend saw me and perceived me as, because he had known me for a long time, back when I was even more socially incapable. So he treated me obviously as this person that couldn't speak that well. And you can imagine the frustration. You're trying to show your best sides, but your friend, like, he talks to you in a way that signals to others that you are less than what you're trying to portray. And that's not hating on him, because I very much like him. He's a great friend. I'm so thankful to have him. But in some ways it held me back, that I couldn't be who I wanted to be. Because yet again, I had to remain consistent with who I used to be. After the first 2 semesters, this guy and we went our separate directions, because he studied something else than I, the 3rd semester. And at first, I was kind of alone because I didn't have my friend any longer. But I quite quickly found a lot of enjoyment in it, because it meant that I could walk into group projects with my classmates, just talk to people during the lectures, and be a person I actually wanted to be, and not have to be forced to remain as this person that my friend knew me as. Because no matter how much I tried to be this social guy when I was with him, it still wasn't really possible, because it was so deeply rooted. And you kind of have your roles with friends, that if me and my friend have a certain relationship, then that's not just gonna change, because that's been built up through many years. If we go back a bit to the first impression, because we've heard that the first 7 seconds are the most crucial, because those are in many ways how people will perceive us from there on out. And I heard a very interesting thing that I absolutely need to tell you about. And it goes like this, that if you meet somebody for the first time and he wears a suit, if you then meet him again and he wears casual clothes, let's say a hoodie or jeans, he dressed down. Like, this is who he used to be, this guy in a suit. But now he just dresses more casually. Like, he's a confident guy. He can dress however he wants. If you then meet a person that, when you meet him, dresses in casual clothes, so he has hoodie and jeans on him when you meet him. If you then see him in a suit, you're gonna view him as instead having dressed up. Like, this is who he is, this casual guy. And now he's trying a little bit more. It's not really who he is, but special occasion, he dresses up in a suit. So those people are viewed so differently. Oh, this guy's, yeah, I know he's this casual guy, but now he dresses up in a suit occasionally. Okay, he can do that sometimes. Like, okay, he's trying sometimes, right? It's not like that first guy who just, he dresses down because he can do it. So how you first meet somebody is crucial. That's why in all job interviews, you should always wear a suit. Never casual clothes, even if they tell you that, come in casual clothes. Because the risk is that you come in there in your casual clothes, your jeans and hoodie, and they're gonna view you as less of a professional than if you had come in full suit. So all the way back, I know how young I was 7 years old, I met this friend that I talked about earlier. And I was shy, I was timid, not a person I wanted to remain as. And all these years later, this person still exists in the mind of my friend, even though it's been like so many years. This takes me back to the beginning, that just because people view you, just because they perceive you as a certain person, does not mean that that's who you have to be. My favorite quote of all time from Jordan Peterson is, "Don't sacrifice who you could be for who you are." And this doesn't mean that we have to be a fake person, that we should pretend to be somebody else that we clearly aren't. It means that just because we are a certain person, shy, timid, weak, doesn't mean that we can't become the person we want to be the person we have the potential to become. Because I may have been socially incapable, or whatever you call it, having a hard time speaking. And now I'm speaking to you for like 10-15 minutes. Ironic, isn't it? But that doesn't mean that that's the way I have to remain. I used to think that way. Because back when I was a child, I thought that, oh, all the social kids, the popular guys, they're so lucky. Like, what did I have to do to get this? What did I do to deserve this? Why did I get the short end of the stick? Why am I so bad at this and those guys so good? I thought it was set in stone. That's the person I have to be. I'm gonna be worse than them socially. That's just the way things are. But just because you've been dealt a certain hand of cards, does not mean that you can't make the most of them. You can still do some good with them, even though they aren't the best. Plus, in most card games, you can get new cards at some point. So you can upgrade your deck. You can upgrade yourself. You can become more than who you used to be. You can become as social as those other kids. However hard it may be to believe when you're young. Even though I'm now living in a completely different place with new people, I still struggle to some extent. Even when I'm meeting completely new people, strangers on the street or in the grocery store, and I strike a conversation with them, I still feel held back in some way. As if all my past classmates and friends are standing in a half circle behind me and watching my every move. So even then, they still enter my mind. They still live rent-free in my head, the way they perceive me. I still feel inclined to act as this person that I used to be. However strange it may sound. But with that being said, the more you do these things, the more you go out and speak to new people, the more you realize that the person I used to be does not have to mean that that's the person I have to be moving forward. When I talk to new people, I feel kind of on the defense. I expect them to look at me as I'm shy and timid. That most of the times they don't. Because they see me as this person I'm portraying, as more confident, as more open, as more sociable. They don't see all my past. It's hidden from them. They don't know anything about it. So slowly but surely, you start to realize that you can truly be somebody else. You can be perceived as much closer to the person who you want to be. Your past does not have to equal your future. Just because everyone at some point saw you as this guy, as this person, does not mean that you have to be that forever. You can, if you so want to, let go of everything that has happened to you. To say that no matter my past conversations, my past interactions with people, I can start over now. And from this point onwards, I can be whoever I want to be.